Complaints about the teachers union going viral, or from them, just as staff was headed back to class for the first time in more than a year. Take a listen.
We had found dozens of classrooms where the windows didn't even open.
When you don't tell us where the issues are, we cannot address them. So instead of going out to social media, pick up the phone, send an email.
All right, let's get more on this. Let's dive deeper. Paterson Mayor Andre Sayegh joins us this morning to address those issues and what's being done to fix them. Good morning, Mayor Sayegh. Good to see you.
Good morning, Betty. It's good to see you as well.
Absolutely. Okay, so we heard from some of the folks there. The teachers union had a lot to say, in fact, about what they uncovered when they conducted their own inspections of the school buildings. So were you aware that these problems existed?
Betty, the teachers union saw fit to put my personal cell phone number on their Facebook page a couple weeks back, and I must have received over 100 text messages about the conditions of the schools or some of the trepidation. So I took it upon myself and I met with the superintendent and I said, are the schools ready as far as COVID preparedness is concerned? And Eileen Schaefer, our superintendent, gave me every assurance that there would be several layers of protection, that when the students and staff return, there'll be masks, there'll be hand sanitizers, there'll be plexiglass partitions, there would be air scrubbers in rooms where there are no windows, air purifiers in every room, and air blasters in a gymnasium or a cafeteria. So as far as COVID-19 preparedness is concerned, the schools are ready. They've faced longstanding challenges as far as some of the conditions in the other schools, and that's why we've been lobbying Trenton for additional funding. Unfortunately, for about that 8-year time period, the school district had been underfunded, and now we're just playing catch up. The school and in the city, we took about $3.8 million in CARES Act money.
Right.
And we dedicated it to the school so that we can safely reopen, because they haven't been open since March 16th.
So, Mayor, how did this
of
happen?
last year.
Yeah, so if you're being told that things are going to be ready, everything's, on par, then you see this information and you know that the money was allocated for that. What happened?
Well, the money that we used, actually the money we earmarked, was for COVID-19 preparedness. It was for the Chromebooks, it was for the Promethean boards. It was for a whole variety of items to help facilitate the transition back. But we continue to issue a clarion call to Trenton to make sure that we get more money to fix our schools and build, quite frankly, new schools. We have some buildings that are over 100 years old. My major concern, Betty, is that they've been out of school since March 16th. And when I say they, I mean the children. And we've had some issues with gun violence, like many cities across the country. And we're seeing that our shooters are much younger. A 15-year-old about 3 weeks ago was arrested for having a semi-automatic weapon near a school where children were congregating for an activity. Lord knows what could have happened if we weren't able to swiftly arrest that 15-year-old.
Well,
seeing that our shooters are much younger.
Mayor, I want to bring you back to the situation with the schools, though, because as you mentioned, School Superintendent Eileen Schaefer called this a smear campaign, but the pictures do tell a different story. So is the school district willing to work with the teachers union to reach some kind of agreement and get these schools up to par?
Betty, you raised a very valid point. Are they willing to work? Yes, I've met with the superintendent again, and she says, as opposed to just posting anything on social media, come and see me and let's outline where all the issues are and address them as appropriately as possible.
What I'm gathering from you, it seems like there's a bit of a lack of a communication here. We're hearing about posting on social media, putting your phone number out there instead of coming to the table and finding real solutions. Give me some perspective here. How many schools are in disarray, like the photos that we saw?
Well, as far as schools are concerned, there's about 52. I've seen about 7 or 8 that may have some serious conditions, but quite frankly, we won't know everything unless there's a meeting that takes place. And Betty, I would avail myself. I will sit there as well with the superintendent, the teachers union, to make sure that we address these issues.
So the first group of students, they're expected to return to the classrooms this week, right? For the first phase of reopening. Is that still the case with the situation that we've seen?
Yes, it is, because teachers returned last week. And according to the superintendent, I met with her last week, 92% of the teachers returned last week. And according to the superintendent, about 500 or so teachers have signed up for summer school.
Okay, so we're going to stay on top of this, Mayor, and I know you are as well. Let's continue the conversation. I want to see how these schools
Of course.
get.
And Betty, if I may, one of the reasons why there was such a strong sense of urgency to return in June as opposed to just coming back in September. There needs to be a reacclimation process, especially for the students, because they've been out for so long.
Right.
But quite frankly, we thought we would help. And there's certain protocols and measures that they have to be aware of since the pandemic is not yet over.
Yeah, it's kind of like a test phase for everyone, right? Getting back into the groove of things as you prepare for September. Mayor Sayegh, thanks so much for joining us today.
Betty, it's always a pleasure. Thank you.
Good to see you as
Sorry
well.
I didn't have the painting behind me today.
I know, next time, bring it to your office.